guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to be filming a pregnancy Q&A because I don't have a ton of followers. I'm going to use Delilah's questions from her pregnancy Q&A. She's pregnant with her fourth baby. I'm not going to butcher her last name, but it will be in the title of this video. I love her channel. I love her family. I love how they're centered around God. I answer these while I am cooking. It's like 10 o'clock at night. My son took a very late nap, so if you hear a little singing in the background, that is him. This is your weaning process now that you have baby number 3 on the way. For her was baby number 4. And for those of you that don't know, I have basically been breastfeeding my youngest out for the last 2.5 years. And so we started the process of weaning once I got pregnant, very slowly. He definitely wasn't ready to stop breastfeeding immediately once I got pregnant. And I didn't want to just be like, okay, I'm pregnant, I'm gonna completely cut him off. He is co-sleeping, so I feel like that would have been kind of cruel to just cut him off from the only comfort and the only soothing he knows. So basically what I did was we started to cut down feeding sessions during the day. I've always fed on demand, so I can't tell you like, hey, we dropped the morning feed, the night feed, anything like that, because I honestly don't know what we did first. I just started to deny him, and because I fed on demand, that wasn't something he was used to. That was kind of the first indicator that, hey, something is changing here. I do think that once I got pregnant, my breast milk did start to change. I noticed a little bit of a dip, and even the amount he was asking for milk. Like, he would ask for milk several times throughout the day, and that kind of just slowly but surely died down. Eventually my milk did dry up like 2 or 3 weeks ago, and you know, we kind of said mommy doesn't have any more milk, and then we stopped the nighttime feeds, and I just replaced the nighttime feed that would be right before bed with a few sips of juice. I know that's not the best, but he does not like milk, any type, any form of milk, and he is not really the hugest fan of water. So I just kind of I don't give him like, he doesn't fall asleep with the juice in his mouth or anything. He literally takes a few sips and then I rock him to sleep. So that works for us, and that's basically how we wean. The next question is favorite, least favorite part of being pregnant. I personally am not someone who's ever had really difficult pregnancies. The first trimester is definitely hard for me, but it was never like, I never had excruciating morning sickness or anything like that. I've never really had a hard time until this pregnancy. Usually the end and the beginning is hard for me. This pregnancy all around, just, I have to say my least favorite part is just not having energy, not being able to eat anything but needing to eat, being very nauseous. It just has not been, I haven't been able to function in my body the same the way that I am used to, and that's been a really hard adjustment for me, especially since this is my 3rd child. I have 2 other children to take care of. I do work, and obviously I am married, so I have a lot of things that I do on a day-to-day basis that I have not been able to do. So that has probably my least favorite thing about this pregnancy. My favorite part is definitely now that I'm in the 2nd trimester, the little kicks and wiggles, and I think that helps you learn more of baby's like personality, and you get to build a stronger bond with your baby. You know that they're okay because they're moving around and you can feel them. So that's definitely, hands down, the best part of being pregnant. Did you decide it was time for baby number 3? Congrats, by the way, so exciting. So again, these are Delilah's questions, so it really was not my husband or my decision. We kind of felt led to have this baby. I personally, I won't speak for my husband, but I really felt like this child was supposed to be in the world, that we were being called to have another child at this time. And I really had to actually pray for the desire to have a child last year before we started trying, because I felt like that and because I was feeling my spirit being tugged in that direction. So it was really me being obedient to the Lord. It was not just me wanting to have a third child. You know, my husband had to pray on his own because this was not within our plan. And then when he got the feeling, the unction to that God was really calling us to have a third child and a bigger family, then we started trying, and that's, you know, all she wrote. What has been different from your first to your third in the ways you think or act? Well, my first was a completely different scenario. I got pregnant when I was almost done with college. Okay, babe, you don't need to put that away. You're welcome. I literally graduated college at like 8.5 months pregnant. I have a huge belly and like all of my graduation photos. So it was definitely an unplanned pregnancy, and I had no idea what I was doing. I wasn't super close in my relationship with God. I was just starting to get to know God and starting to change. And so my relationship with God was completely different. God plays a huge part in how I parent. I really try to pray and invite him into anything that deals with me being a parent. That's really important to me. And so that's the biggest, I was just not really ready at all, versus now with my third, I know, you know, the steps of motherhood. Every baby is different, so I don't think that going from 2 to 3 will be easy, but I'm just a different person now. The fact that I lean on the Lord and Jesus really is like the Lord of my life, that changes everything. It changes the way that you think. It changes the patience level that you have with your children. It changes the way you even think about children. Children are really a gift, and it clearly says that in the Bible. And so you're not looking at it from a worldly view. You're really looking at your children as something God blessed you with, and gifts that you have to steward over and take care of. Versus when I got pregnant the first time, I immediately had a connection with my baby, and so I was willing to figure it out. But I did not, no. I did not know what I was doing at all. So it's a drastic difference from where I was before and where I am now. I wasn't even like married, like me and my husband were together, obviously, but yeah, so it's night and day. It's not even the same person I was, 5 years ago or 5 or 6 years ago. How do you prepare your body for pregnancy / conception? Well, this time around, I wouldn't say I prepared.
Okay.
No, that's spicy.
Okay.
Yeah, spicy. You want this? Before conception, I had a hormonal implant in my arms. I removed that. And I bought some ovulation strips because while I was breastfeeding, I did not have a period for the first few months of us trying. And yes, I didn't physically do anything to prepare. We just were trying for a few months. Implant taken out in April, I think. I didn't get my period until August. So those months we were trying, but obviously nothing was happening. I don't think I was ovulating at the time. Wow. Yeah, see. And mentally, I think there was a lot more prayer that went into this. You're welcome. There was a lot of praying and fasting that went into this because this was kind of like a direction from the Lord. And so I had to really get myself prepared mentally to have a third child. It was not my decision. So I did a lot of praying. I did a lot of fasting. I did a lot of meditating on the word. I even seeked help from my mentors in preparation of having this child. It was more of a mental game for me. When I was doing the ovulation strips, I just found that it wasn't the best. Yes. Yeah, see. It wasn't the easiest for my mental health. Like every time I looked at an ovulation strip and I wasn't ovulating, I was disappointed. And so I had to switch my mind from something physical to something spiritual because this entire process has been very spiritual for me. What keeps you having kids? Don't you feel you don't ever have time to yourself ever? I definitely feel like this. I definitely have seasons where did you open it? What you doing? What keeps you having kids? Don't you ever feel like you don't have time for yourself? And 100%, I do feel like I don't have time for myself sometimes, but it's important to have your village and you know, speak up for yourself, make time. For me, my daily time is always my showers. I have to take a shower every day. Or if I'm in the shower and they're playing, one is playing with toys in the bathroom while I'm showering, the shower is really my safe place. But the main thing that helps with feeling like, why do you want to have kids, is really what I was saying earlier about children being a gift from the Lord. And I don't really think if I have any more children past this point, I will be just having kids because I want a child. If I'm not feeling called to have that child, if I'm not feeling led by Jesus as this being a plan that he has for me for my life is really not my own. I probably won't be having any more kids. But if I do, I will be having kids because I have been called to that. So that outweighs like some of those day-to-day feelings. Hey, what you doing? Even right now, it is after 10:50. Oh my gosh. And because my son took a late nap, he's still awake, and I could be like, oh my gosh, this is the worst thing ever. But you know, it happens, and you know, I live to serve. And if you look at it like that, that doesn't mean you'll be frustrated at times. You don't need a real break from like your children. But I hope you get through it, and this part is only temporary. What are some things that help with your morning sickness? I experienced a little bit of morning sickness in my first pregnancy and a lot of day sickness, not just morning sickness. In this pregnancy, and the thing that helped in my first pregnancy is small meals. So things like crackers, rice cakes, things that are very easy to digest and don't have a lot of flavor. How do you deal with people constantly giving you their opinion? The funny thing is, as a third time mom, I think my friends and family know the type of mom that I am, and they can give me advice. I'm open to good advice, and I think that it can be very helpful to get another perspective. But I think at this point, third baby in, people kind of know that I do my own thing. Parenting is something for me, my husband, and the Lord. Definitely felt like I was, you know, I didn't know what to do about advice from people. I didn't know what really to say or listen to. By the time I had my second son, I really did not have that issue at all. I think I kind of, you know, knew what I wanted to do as a parent, and you know, that's what matters, not other people's opinions. So some advice you can take, but if you find yourself feeling overwhelmed, these are God's children. I think a lot of times we take on a lot more of a role than we should as parents. And it really should be coming from how God wants you to raise the people that he has gifted to you. At the end of the day, these are people, these are your children. but they're really people that are going to serve the Lord, God willing. And so you should be consulting God with the spirit that he created, with the soul that he created. And so I think we forget that. And so then when somebody mentions something, we get frazzled and overwhelmed. But you're the mom, and God gave these kids to you. So just keep that in mind. But most of the people who give advice are trying to do it from a good place. So the next question is, what will all the age gaps be? Okay, so my oldest and my middle child are 2 years apart. They are 27 months apart. My middle and my youngest will be 2 years and 9 months apart. 24 plus 9, 33 months. Okay, 2 years and 9 months apart. I think I'm gonna stop there. If you guys want for a part 2 or have any other questions, please leave them down below. Thank you for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.